everyone. Welcome to Masculine Geek number 28. Special. What are you doing over there? Special guest Jack Napier. Rob is serenading us whether we like it or not. So welcome everyone to another Masculine Geek Wednesday. Thank you for joining us. As always, it's a pleasure to have you. Everyone in the chat. If I've said hello to you, that's good. If I have not, hello.
Yeah, the chat's already rolling.
The chat is rolling, yes. And speaking of rolling, Jack Napier, tell us a little bit about yourself. How do you want to introduce yourself? There we go.
I am Iron Man.
You are this, ladies and gentlemen. This is Iron Man. This is what he really looks like.
Well, thank you for having me first, Vincent, TJ, Rob. Rob, nice meeting you again.
Yes, nice meeting you again, thing. Jack. Nice to see your face again. Only this time, everybody gets to see it.
Yeah, this time it's live. It's getting used to, but it's gonna be all right, I guess. I don't have much to hide. I have a good mug, so sue me. But yeah, I'm doing fine. Looking forward to this broadcast, and well, thanks again for having me. How's everybody else doing?
Absolutely.
Doing good.
We're always doing good. That's why we're here. And
right.
welcome, Mac and Liberty. Ralstonian, welcome. It's good to see you in the chat.
RR.
Yes. Now, we've gotten away from it a little bit, and that's our Geek Intel. And as we were talking about in the pre-show, TJ's been a little more consistent than Rob and I. Rob and I have been a little bit lazy in that fact, and I'm going to be still continuing to be lazy. I have bupkis, so. However, I believe I don't know about Rob. He didn't even say what he's actually. You know what?
I'm wearing my Geek
Intel. And you can go ahead and tell us a little bit about that. What do you have
it's
there?
a T-shirt that I had made, and I'm getting it redone. This was a prototype, but this is my Blackbeard T-shirt because I really dig pirates. And since Jack was showing me pictures at one point of some pretty awesome things, I figured I was going to wear my pirate shirt in honor of Jack. And so that's where we're at. And so, yes, guys, this is the Blackbeard pirate shirt.
Nice. I like it.
Degenerate.
Yeah. We got a bunch of degenerates in the fucking chat.
Oh, as always.
Yep.
I've seen this sexy beast on Sunday. Good evening, degenerates.
Yeah. Back to RZD. Welcome, degenerate.
We're all degenerates in one form or another. No, we'll save the best for last. But TJ, you're next. What do you have to show? Do you have any Geek Intel? I mean,
yeah.
I got some Geek Intel. I'm enjoying your 1940s and 30s memes. I have to say.
So those of you who follow Aaron Clarey's Twitter, those memes are all mine that I created.
Sorry, Mac and Liberty, you're a degenerate as well. You're in the chat, so you're degenerate by default.
Exactly. So this is, I was given this years ago from my grandpa. This was my great grandfather's safety razor.
Oh, cool.
And it did not look this good when I got it. This is after about an hour of Brasso applying to it.
So that is brass.
So it is brass, and it comes apart like any ordinary safety razor. So I could actually technically still go use this. I have one that I bought a couple of years ago because I just didn't know if I could use this, but then I realized I could work on it. So I have this displayed on my writing desk over there. I need to do a podcast from one of these from that because it's got some cool stuff. This I just received. This, I don't know if I showed this, but we might as well show it anyways. This is a World War II cookbook that was made. And notice it says bindings of the American Women's Cookbook.
Nice. So, I like it.
Yes. And this is from MacArthur.
Oh, wow. That's pretty badass.
So he was saying, ladies, get in the kitchen.
Get in the kitchen. Jesus.
But I have one more that I'm going to show.
Get in the kitchen, damn it.
This Vince would appreciate this, but some of you also might appreciate this. This is Joseph McCarthy's book.
Yes.
McCarthyism, The Fight for America. We won't be talking about it on this episode, but We will at some point.
It's coming.
Yeah,
It's coming.
TJ and I have done some extensive research, and we're going to enthrall you all with
Enthrall, daze, amaze,
amaze, and probably just downright
you.
shock the fuck out of all of you.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So that's going to be good. Now, last but not least, I know you were running our mouths over here. Jack, I believe you have some Geek and Tell to show.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 things actually, and I sent you all the pictures, so I don't know
did.
if. And please use the proper ones because I cleaned. After I took
You did.
the
You did
pictures-
dust. That was
Oh
pretty
my
funny. You said, yeah, I didn't even notice until you said something. Like, oh yeah, you know what? They're pretty fucking dusty.
Oh yeah, they are. But the thing is, I put them together, I put them on the shelf, and it's done. So after that, I just look at them. They're right in front of me. But well, when you want to get them off, you notice that, well, yes, dust collects a lot. So what I brought to the show today, I don't know, Vincent, can you show one of them?
I think if I share my screen, it'll share my screen. But if we, let's see, if we click on you now, let me click on you over here, and then solo layout. There you go. So.
Oh, like that.
Yeah.
Well, I'd have to get them off the shelf. You want me to do that?
You should completely. We want to see if you. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, come on.
You want to see if they're real?
Hell, I want to just see them again. Bring them out here.
Okay. Let's start with one. And this will be the most famous one, at least as in real life fiction ships. It's also the smallest one. Oh, God. Look at this.
Oh, that's sweet. Look at that.
Oh, God.
This is
The Jolly Roger.
no. It is the Black Pearl from the Pirates of the Caribbean series, made of Lego.
Ah.
Can I throw something out just as
Yes.
a geek thing? So you know the Interceptor from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes,
Mm.
yes.
I actually sailed that boat.
Really?
I got to sail it,
Nice.
and I was a stowaway.
Ah.
Be on the spot right now because I was under the impression that I could sit down and I wore sweatpants. Now so I got tricked.
Put that as your fucking Tinder profile picture.
That's pretty. That's funny. Jack, how long did that take you to build?
Oh yeah. The Black Pearl didn't take me that long. It was 2.5 hours, I believe. Maybe even 2. Maybe even shorter than that.
Okay.
How
How about the one with the shark?
The one? Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Yeah, I'll grab
Like
it.
the little shark.
Yeah, I got to see this because I want to get scale size in hands type of thing.
Okay. Yeah, look at my hands.
I think everybody in the chat wants to pants you right now.
Yeah, I know.
Give him a
Is Bull
wedgie.
Rush there?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bull Rush is there.
Yes.
Look at this beauty.
Oh.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, there's the camera.
Oh, yeah.
This
Here they go.
is what's it called again? Oh yeah, the Skull-Eyed Schooner, I believe, released in 1992.
Wow.
I only got this. I got this one. When did I get it? 2 years ago, I believe. Yeah.
Wow.
After my final LTR, I got that one. Yeah. Oh, by the way, since Rob is in the mood already. Oh, don't break it! Don't break it. I have got Blackbeard's ship as well.
Ah, sweet.
The Queen's Ant's Revenge. And I have it right here.
Oh, cool. That's pretty badass.
Oh my god, these fucking things are huge.
Yeah, they are. They are. And the
It'd be great
detail
for
on
some
this one is
tabletop
amazing.
gaming.
Yeah, we should do tabletop gaming with these.
Absolutely.
Battleship.
Yeah, you sunk my battleship. You know what the worst part about these things are? Is that the older ones in the 1989 and 1990 series of ships, they float. This one doesn't.
Oh.
What?
And
What?
how do I know? Well,
You tried
Because
it?
you tried it?
of course I did. Of course. You know what the funny thing is? Like, okay, I'm gonna throw this out right now. because some of the guys would think like, wait, this guy collects Lego ships? What? Huh?
Fucking
Is
badass, dude.
Is he in the manosphere? You know what? Chicks dig him.
Yeah, they do.
Hell
They-
yeah.
they-
Or Mac is going nuts for him already. She's
Yeah.
in the chat just
Oh well.
And I guarantee you, there's other chicks watching that aren't saying shit right now that are like, "Oh yeah, these are cool. This is all cool. These guys are cool."
Ladies, you can follow me on Twitter, Jack Napier.
Where the women at?
Where you at?
Come on, speak for this one, some wench.
No ladies on board though. I can't have that. That's bad luck.
it is bad luck, yes.
The bad luck to have women on board, even a small one.
Yeah. I
Small
remember
boat or a small woman?
Small woman.
Okay.
It's from Pirates of the Caribbean.
that. Yeah, it's from Pirates.
Yes.
I believe it was 4. Yeah, was it 4 or 3? Can't remember. Because no, it wasn't with Keira Knightley.
No, the first one was with Keira Knightley, and that was the opening scene. He was saying, bad luck to have a woman on board, even.
Oh, that's Gibbs. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, I remember. Yeah, that's Gibbs when she's young. Yeah. Okay, I've got 2 more. Shall I save the biggest for last?
Yeah.
That's what
Oh
she
yeah,
said.
we gotta have the biggest orgasm ever.
This is why I wore sweatpants.
Well, of course. You
Okay.
got to stretch. Ooh.
There. Let me check one thing real quick. Mac and Liberty, the pirates knew, laughing my ass off. Yeah, they knew. Girls like pirates, it's confirmed. Yes, young lady, it is. Yes.
Gotta go back and check the chat. What did I miss?
Yeah, but I believe she's gonna get married or something, right?
Yes.
Look at this one.
Oh, wow.
This is the first ship, as in this large, that Lego has ever released. And
I love the boom for the cargo.
Booty.
Yeah.
He said booty.
It
That's the
even
last
has
person.
this little rowboat. No, but Black Seas Barracuda 1989.
Okay.
Yes, I know all these things. Why? No,
Because
but
you're a geek, that's why.
That's
Yeah,
good.
so-
Such knowledge belongs on this podcast.
there's a story
Exactly.
to this one.
Ooh, do tell.
A little bit of Batman origin story, a little bit. Sorry, Ryan, but I bought this, and you wouldn't believe how old I was. I bought this around my 14th birthday because this is actually the re-release they put out in 2014. So around that time, I bought this one, and I remember that I finished it the day before my birthday. This was the last set I built that my mother saw. And I remember this very well because I was building it, and she kept walking into the room. And she was like, "Have you finished it? No. Have you finished it yet? No. Have you finished it yet? No. Mom, I finished it." But then she passed out drunk in the chair. So, yeah, wasn't really that much. So, but ever since then, I never tore this one apart. So this has been like this for over 15 years.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
15 years of complete Lego set.
That's impressive.
Yeah. No, but it was so stupid. Like, she kept nagging me all day long, and then I finally finished it, and then she passed out in the chair. I was like, "Yeah, really? Really?
Oh,
I did this." So, last one.
Sure. Yeah. The best for last.
Yeah, and that oh my god. Rob saw this one
Oh, okay.
already. I even put a plate for scale.
Oh, nice. Is
Oh,
this the
Rob
one
is
to
gone?
he'll
Rob,
be
seriously?
right. He'll be right. I know, right? He does that from time to time. He'll be right back.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Ooh.
Jack was saying that each pirate ship is roughly 3 to 4 hours in building time, which is kind of cool. Reminds me of the miniature figure painting, which can take anywhere between 2 and 7 hours. Rob's a quick figure miniature painter. He does his stuff. He's got some techniques.
Well, it's just all learning about how to do a wash is what it comes down to.
Yes.
Oh,
Wash.
wash
Oh.
this.
That's right.
Oh, shit.
Like, how many guys were thinking, I hope this motherfucker falls?
No,
No, we weren't there.
That would have been funny, though. That would have made a huge hit. That would have made a huge hit.
It would have been funny, but it would have been one of those everyone would have been like, oh!
Got to rebuild that.
ship.
Got to rebuild that one.
Mhm.
Oh, nice. Now,
Now-
what was that one called?
The Imperial flagship, released in, I believe, 2010 or 11. And this is the biggest thing Lego has ever produced when it comes to ships. Okay, people will debate me on this. They will say, no, it's the Silent Mary. Fuck off. It's not. Seriously, they released another Pirates of the Caribbean ship, like Pirates of the Caribbean 5, that ship from Salazar.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it has more pieces, but more of these tiny things. This thing is way bigger.
Yeah, they are very...
Hmm?
What's up, Vince?
Oh no.
Did we lose him?
Lost Vince once again, as per usual.
Yeah, right on time.
Oh no.
All right. Hey, while we're waiting for Vince to come back,
Yeah.
Ralstonian Report has a question for you, Jack. What ship took you the longest to make?
Oh, he's returned.
Yeah.
This one.
That
At
one
least-
there?
I believe it's this one because the one I showed before this one with the yellow and the red and white sails, the Black Seas Barracuda, I was younger when I built that one. So it could be that one took the longest, but as in if I were a full-grown adult with capable of using everything, things like that, then this one. But not by long. Not by long. Yeah, this one takes the prize. 1,600 and something pieces.
Wow.
Okay, I'm not going to even take the effort of putting this back right now because I just want to sit in my chair. I will put you back later. Oh my God. Wow, this
Well,
feels
now
so
that you
Is it-
decided to come out, come out in public, Jack, you ought to have those be part of your set.
Yeah, I
when you
do.
do your show.
I'm mixing things up with the camera position, but the thing is, my desk is underneath the ships. But you can see my CD collection.
Well, you may have
That's
to, move your desk around and rearrange your studio there.
Mm-hmm. That would be fun. Like, I love how Donovan has rearranged his studio.
Yeah.
All the memorabilia in the
Oh,
background.
yeah.
Things
There's
like that.
there's a lot going on there.
What inspired you to start collecting pirate ships, Jack?
Oh, that's a good one. What inspired me to collect pirate ships? Well, I have another one to show, by the way.
Oh,
One
please
more.
do.
One more.
Now,
The
where's that little shark?
Oh, yeah.
The little shark. The little Jaws guy. There you go. Look. That's awesome.
Nice.
Well, you can't go wrong with the Lego shark.
No, absolutely not. Oh, the crocodiles, they were amazing.
Oh, that's cool. Very
Yeah,
cool.
Lego had crocs. Crocodiles, sorry, not the
Yeah.
shoes.
Yes, not the shoes. Nobody wants those.
No. Oh, but I'll get the smaller one because the funny thing is, I just showed you the large Imperial flagship, but Lego had an Imperial flagship way before this one.
Huh, okay. Oh, cool.
Little small fry right here.
Yeah.
And this was the first ship I got, and I got this for my fourth birthday. Fourth, yeah.
Oh, cool.
And I remember not being able to play with it for a very long time because my father didn't trust me. He didn't trust me with it. We had this giant case full of glasses, this giant white case, and this was at the top of it. And I couldn't reach it. And I remember asking my mom, like, could you please get it? And she was like, well, maybe, but as soon as I see you tearing it apart, it's going right back up.
Oh, geez.
And it stood there for years until indeed the day I could reach it myself. And my father was right. As soon as I got my grubby little hands on it, I started rebuilding things and things like that. But
you don't glue them together now, do you?
No.
Question in the chat. Okay.
No, absolutely not.
So what inspired you to start collecting them?
Yeah, what inspired? I don't know. To be very honest, it sounds like a very bland answer, but the thing is, I got this one for my 4th birthday, and I always loved pirates. I really did. I don't know. I think it's the whole idea of doing whatever you want, being free, not listening to anybody. I mean, it fits my personality so well. But I got this one, and we had those little Lego magazines. Why are you laughing?
You got to read the chat.
RVD.
Those ships will be his broadcast DCA of masculinity. All he needs then are Lego truck nuts.
Christ. TJ's over there shaking his head like children.
Right,
I'm in a room full of children.
You can get him on the ship. You're just hanging from the bowsprit.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. I was dressing up like a pirate when I was a kid.
What, the only one that has truck
Same
nuts?
here.
Wait, what?
What, you have truck nuts too? You're like, I'm not the. We were talking about that. You're like, well, I'm glad he's not the only one.
Yes, Jack. I don't quite know what you're getting at.
Yeah, I think so, Brain. But where are we going to find rubber pants all size?
I think so, Brian. But I get all clammy inside the tent.
No, okay. But the thing was, we had this little Lego magazines, and I always looked at the pictures of the ships. It was there, and they have pictures of the ones I showed you with the black and white sails and the red and white sails. I've always wanted that. I just loved it, and I went to the toy store and just held the boxes. And I remember the cashier being like, "Little boy, where are you going with that?" I was like, just showing it to my parents in the hopes of, but that never happened. So, yeah, as soon as I got. Oh, no, I have a far better story. So this was my first one. The one with the red and white sails I bought around my 14th birthday. That was the last thing my mother ever saw me build. But the Blackbeard ship, and Rob is going to love this story. And if I ever get doxxed, I will be in a hell of a lot of trouble for this one. Because, and here it comes, I back then had a girlfriend who was very bossy, and I mean bossy in every sense of the word. She wanted me to save up my money because she wanted to go on holiday, and she didn't want to be in a situation where I didn't have any money, blah, 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 blah. And so I saved up, and that ship was released. Blackbeard ship, Queen's Empress Revenge was released, and I just looked at it, and I was like, I need to have this. I don't care. I need to have this. And she was so very pissed off. She was like, "You're not buying that ship. We're going on holiday," and blah, blah, blah. But the funny thing is, I saw a breakup coming. And she was like, "Well, I want to have a break." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. Do what you want." First thing I did, went to the toy store, bought that thing. And our mutual friends, like during that so-called break, because she was already sleeping with somebody else, which in the end turned out all right for me. But our mutual friends came over, and they saw that ship standing there on the closet, and they looked at me. "Does she know?" And I looked at them. "Neither do you." And a week later, she broke up, and I just put pictures of it on Facebook. I was like,
exactly.
It boggles my mind.
We broke up. Look at this.
It just boggles my mind that you would say, you need to save up your money, and you can't. Somebody you're not even married to is telling you what to do with your money, and just say, I spend money on whatever I want. If I want to go buy a bunch of toys, it's my money, right? Yeah. My wallet, my choice, right?
Yeah, but she was like that, and I won in the end,
right?
Because women are like milk, and we are like houses,
or like fine wine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Or good Coke Light in bottles. Where it came from, I don't know, man. Sometimes you have those things where you're just like, I love it. I don't know why, but I love it. I love the spirit of it. I love the idea of it. The whole concept of it, ships, things like that. My dad took me to the National Shipyard Museum as a child more times than I can count. It's just been a part of me, I guess. Like if I ever have a tattoo, if I'm still doubting it. Jack Sparrow has one tattoo that really speaks to me. That is that what's it called again? That mockingbird in front of the sun.
Isn't it a sparrow?
Yeah, no, it isn't a sparrow. In Dutch, it's a God, I think it's a mockingbird. Well, because that was the stupid thing about that tattoo. It wasn't even a sparrow.
No, classic Jack. He was probably drunk. He's like,
I want a bird that looks like
yeah, it is. No, it's not a mockingbird either. I'm
What the hell did I?
sure.
What the hell did I come back to? What the hell's going on? Over here?
Oh, we're talking about sparrows.
Oh, mind your
Oh,
own.
okay.
Vince.
oh, Mac says it's a sparrow.
Shut up over there, Rob.
No, it's not a sparrow.
It's not a sparrow.
It's a swallow.
An African swallow.
Yeah.
Which
it's
one's
a,
faster? The unladen one, the African or the European?
No, it's a swallow. It's a swallow. I'm 100% sure.
It's not a question of where he grips it. It's a simple question of weight ratios. A 5-ounce bird cannot carry a 1-pound coconut.
It's a sparrow. It's a swallow. It's a turkey. Yes, Athen. It's a turkey. Thank you.
Turkey.
You got 2 empty jars of coconut and you're buying it together. So, where'd you get them? In Mercia. In Mercia, the coconut's tropical.
You stupid bastard! You've got no arms left.
Totally flesh
No, I
wound.
don't. It's just a flesh wound. Come on, you pansy.
Oh, Monty Python.
Yeah.
Jack, are you ever involved in any of those SCA events for pirates? But it's kind of like
No.
a laughing kind of question, but I figured
What's
I'd ask it anyway.
SCA?
Yeah, it's
No,
it's
Brian
Society
Ross,
for
I-
Creative Anachronism.
No, I'm not a LARPer
Not a
or
LARPer.
anything like that.
Yeah, it's from
No.
Brian. Sorry,
No.
Brian. There's no SCA happening over here.
No, but to get back to one thing, if I ever have a tattoo, it will be that swallow flying in front of the sun because of the of just being free of everything. So yeah, there's that.
Fantastic.
But having a tattoo these days is like being a normie, so who cares?
That's
Yeah,
true.
if you're in the Pacific Northwest, everybody has a tattoo.
Hi,
now.
Rob.
Hi, thanks, asshole.
Well, Rob,
Hey, I was getting them before they became normies, so fuck off.
Yeah.
When was your first tattoo, Rob? I'm curious.
My first one?
Yeah,
oh,
what's your first
God,
tattoo?
when was
Did
it?
they even have needles back then?
No, we had to use hammers and fucking chisels. God, when was it? 2000?
Okay,
Yeah, I think it was in 2000s when I got my first one.
gotcha.
So, yeah, back before it started becoming normie. It was still somewhat edgy.
Yeah, back in the day, having a tattoo was pretty. That was what bikers did pretty much.
Bikers and sailors and criminals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bikers, sailors, and criminals. But now it's just everybody and their freaking aunt are going to the tattoo parlor and they're getting some stupid little thing, or they're doing the whole deck the halls body.
Well, they're not even getting tattoos. They're getting
Body.
bumper stickers. Seriously, no, those stupid arrows on their hands or some. I don't know. I have a girl at work right now.
I appreciate the tattoos because for me, it's just it's a warning.
Oh yeah.
It's telling me in advance where I mean, or at least because there's some girls that I used to flirt with or whatever, consort with who had to. The thing is, I could interact with them knowing it wasn't going any further because of the whole. Yeah, you get but I just know where they stand because that's what I was talking about on Twitter. I want to know where I stand with people, so when I know, okay, she's got some tats. Here's all the different things that I can just wise assumptions to make. That's fine. That doesn't mean I treat them like a pariah and I don't talk to them. It's just it's different than. But most I'd say 45 to 50% of girls, and especially in my generation, the millennial, and you're roughly my age, you're 10 years younger. You're still going through puberty over there. It's like dang near 50% of them.
Wait a minute. How old are you, Jack?
29.
He's 12 years old.
God,
Yeah.
Rob and I could be your dad.
Well, together you could be, considering the weight class. Where are my shades?
Wow. Don't. Nice.
Yeah.
Actually, though, I'm watching the chat and everyone's going, well, I don't have a tat. Well, I don't have a tat. That makes me a rebel. And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, you guys in the chat don't have tats. You're not rebels. Okay. TJ, do you have any tattoos?
Me? No.
Vince, do you have any tattoos?
No.
Jack doesn't have any tattoos. Guess I'm the only motherfucker here, so I guess I'm the actual rebel, you dicks. Get
There
over
you
it.
go. Well, in this,
Old.
yeah, I know, right? In this chat, yes, you are the rebel, sir, and we tip our hats to you.
Yes. Hey,
Go-
Jack, have you seen 21 Jump Street, the series?
No, not the series.
Okay, well, somebody at Bull Rush and a couple other ones were asking, I guess, wanting to know if you've seen it. I don't know what the I'm waiting for the punchline here. Hey, shut up, Atham. I'm not Normie.
Rob, Normie.
Oh, Bull Rush has got tats. All right, see, look at that.
Yeah. Oh, by the way,
Special rebel.
I can't see the chat in StreamYard for some odd reason. Normally, when I host, I can, but now I can't.
Oh, it might be because that it's plugged straight into the Masculine Geek channel. You'll have to actually go to the stream itself and pop the chat out, which is what I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's not. He looks like Johnny Depp. I get that. So here, want to see me with my glasses? There. Wait. Looks like a
There you go. That the Johnny Depp in that writer story he was in. I forget the name of it.
Secret Window.
There you go. Yep. See the Secret Window. Yep.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Jump
Oh, no
Street
shit.
was
But
funny.
I
It had
don't
a
do drugs and things like that, so I will look a lot better when I'm 50.
There you go. Wait a minute. Who's got their balls pierced?
Atham.
Oh, okay. Wow, Atham. That sounds painful.
20 hours a week.
You're definitely the rebel.
Well,
Wow.
here's a fun one. Max says, I cosplay, though I do not LARP. And I'm thinking, is there a difference?
Not really. I don't know.
Well, yeah, the LARPing is more.
Cosplay is where you dress up. LARPing is where you actually are acting.
You're pretending and
Ah,
acting.
that's
yeah,
right, that's
yeah.
right,
LARPing
that's
is
right.
the live
I mean,
action.
if
role
I
playing.
dressed up as Captain America, I would be cosplaying and LARPing just because
I do not want to know about her bedroom stories.
What?
Oh, shit.
Say what?
Oh, fuck, it's
What?
devolving in the chat. I got to get another beer. I'll be back.
All right.
No, I was gonna say 21 Jump Street, the film with Jonah, whatever his name is, and Tatum, whatever.
Channing Tatum.
Yeah. That was a pretty funny movie, but also it had a young, cute, still feminine Brie Larson before she drank the Kool-Aid and signed.
That exists.
Before she sold, you got to see. There was a guy who's breaking down her pre, frankly, just she clearly sold to the devil at some point, because you can tell the difference when you see her in this one interview where she's wearing a nice, cute, feminine dress and she's just giggling and she's really just being really cute. And then they show an interview where she looks like she's the church lady from Saturday Night Live. She's in those interviews for the Avengers film and she's just all dead serious and she takes everything personally and she has no sense of humor and all the joy in her life is gone. I'm thinking, did you do a casting session with Harvey Weinstein at some point, right? Because clearly, yeah,
Gratuitous, yes.
You totally just broke TJ's train of thought here.
no, that's all I was going to really say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
This is the I'll be brief cat. So when we have to,
TJ,
Mowgli.
you were saying Brie Larson and Harvey Weinstein? I mean, what?
Harvey Weinstein's the perv in Hollywood, but
I know.
Yeah, I was saying that Brie Larson used to be. She really conveyed this kind of cute, sort of feminine, kind of like the girl that you would meet in high school who still has that like her soul still. And then you see her post that point where she's doing interviews and it's like she's been brainwashed. She has no, and it's a clear differentiation. She thinks things are funny and she laughs about it, and then now she just takes everything dead seriously, and she's really serious about herself. And I've seen that transformation in girls I've known in my own life, and with just watching as I get older. And it's just you kind of just enjoy the decline. Enjoy the decline. That's all you can just say at this point. You just don't
she has probably been casted for the sequel 21 Jump Dicks, and that's why her stare is so strange right now. I mean, that takes its toll on a woman.
Yeah, man. I'm not. Yeah, it's true, and it's kind of just tragic. But it's the same thing. I think it was a little bit of the same thing with what's her name, Jennifer Lawrence. But I think she was already teetering on the edge anyways. She kind of conveyed that, oh, I'm just one of the guys, but I'm a girl, so I'm gonna date the whole basketball team at once type thing. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
TJ, we're missing a cat.
You mean Mowgli? Oh,
no,
you and I.
Yours.
I got
he
Reese.
doesn't have a cat. He's got Reese.
I got Reese. I got the world's greatest canine hiking companion.
That is true.
You need to bring him on the show.
I will be bringing Reese on the show at some point.
We do not deserve dogs. That is something I will hold dear to my heart. A quote that must be on my tombstone. We do not deserve dogs. Seriously.
There is a big debate between me and this guy named the Great One over who is convinced.
Is that a self-proclaimed title?
That is a self.
Was that granted to him?
I think he's kind of earned it. He's been podcasting. Okay. He's been podcasting since podcasts were invented. So I think he's kind of earned that title. But the Great One over at Cynical Libertarian Society believes that dogs are retarded wolves, and I don't dispute this. But he thinks that cats are the superior pet. But here's the problem: as Vince's Mowgli is demonstrating, cats, one, are passive aggressive. They don't show their emotions. They're not very friendly. Whereas with a dog, you have to be you could be an evil person to everyone else, but if you're nice to your dog, they'll love you to death. They'll love you till the day they die. Very loyal. And
they will hold out before they eat your dead body for weeks. A cat will nibble on you if you're asleep. It doesn't even matter.
Well, you want to know something else?
See?
A dog is part of your life, but you are that dog's entire life.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the bond is tremendous.
In the fields, man.
And the other thing is that a dog is a companion. A cat is more of just hovering around you, just trying to toy with your emotions.
Right? They really are like women.
The same way they toy with a cat. See, a dog is sort of like. I'm trying to give an example of. He sort of epitomizes the kind of friend that you want, right?
He's like the abominable snowman from Bugs Bunny. Duh.
No, you get if you get a really intelligent dog that is really smart.
Not a rabbit, George. That's what I think of when I see Reese with his big happy smile and his tongue hanging out.
That dog is just I've got so many pictures. I'll be walking. I have to walk by his house to get to the post office. And when I walk by, he just runs right up to the fence, and he's got the biggest, almost like this idiotic smile of, yes, I'm completely pandering to your emotions and trying to be manipulative with this smile. It's as if the dog knows how his smile comes off to people. So, whereas cats are like, yeah, I'm going to withhold my emotions until you give me what I want. You know exactly what I want. I think we all know what that's like. That's like a nightmare girlfriend, right?
Well, we don't want to have that.
No, we don't. So Mowgli, knock it off. You're gonna find yourself packed outside the house.
I'm gonna throw him off the balcony. Fend for himself.
For Geek Intel, I had one more thing, and Rob knows this. Rob knows this very well.
Oh shit! Oh yeah.
I am a huge Slayer fan.
Oh, okay.
Also Led Zeppelin. I've got all the records right there in my record collection, and since today I have all the Slayer records with Dave Lombardo, as in with the original lineup. Took me a while to get the first two. But Rob and I have been talking about Slayer, well, ever since we met, I believe.
Pretty close, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. The old Slayer to me, I'm not a big fan of the newer Slayer, but from about Seasons of the Abyss on back, yes. So,
Like Golden Age of Slayer, all the way back to the first. And then you get Divine Intervention, God Hates Us All, and the other one with the Latin name. But then Dave Lombardo comes back, and then you get Christ Illusion, World Painted Blood. Those two records kicked out. But I don't know what it is with those records that don't have Dave Lombardo, because it's the same style.
yeah.
I mean, it's still thrash metal, but something is off. It's the mixing or something, that the vocals aren't really as we're used to.
Well, and you got to realize Tom's getting older too. You know, I mean, they all are. And
Yeah,
so
but Christ
can't-
Illusion was still great.
Yeah, you're right. You got a point there. Angel of Death was my favorite. Yes. Yep. That'll wake the neighbors up in the morning, putting that one up to 10.
I was able to drum Angel of Death, but only one time. After that, I was completely exhausted.
One and done.
I can imagine. Yeah. No, I feel the same way. I got to hand it to Jeff Hanneman and Kerry King being able to do some of the riffs and whatnot that they did, that it's just like, Jesus Christ, guys, I'm surprised your hands aren't falling off. So
That's insane. Did you know that Tom used to play bass without a pick in the beginning?
I did not know that.
Yeah, the first, I believe, 3 albums he played without a pick. I mean,
He
damn.
picked it, huh? Damn.
Yeah, that's
at
no
that
joke.
speed?
That's no joke.
That's just fucking insane, man. I mean, talented musicians, everybody's always saying metal is noise and things like that, but the capability being able to play that is insane.
Yeah. When I had a band back in the day, we would try to keep up with like Slayer and Metallica, and it's just like, you know, everyone would, it's just a bunch of noise. And it's like, no, turn the distortion down a little bit. You'll understand it. And maybe you'll appreciate it, because there's a lot going on there.
But the thing is, with music these days, as you just mentioned, everybody's saying like, oh, it was noise and blah, blah. But that noise was an expression of wanting more. At least that's how I mean, when you have the first two, not all the Nirvana records, actually, it was, these kids were disappointed or something with everything that was going on, and I miss that in music today.
Well, it's music got too soft. I mean, if anything, all the disappointed kids grew up and became red-pilled.
Seriously, we should start a band. I mean, Rolo on guitar, me on drums, you on guitar as well. Yeah. TJ, do you play anything?
Not guitar or drum or anything like that. I played the clarinet when I was in high school.
We'll start a whole new genre.
There you go.
What kind of genre is that?
I don't know. We'll call
very
it clarinet core.
Here's the thing. Here's something that just unfortunately was not explained to me, and I never really picked up on, is that with the clarinet, the only way to do it and do it well is to wear a tuxedo while you're doing it. If you're a man and you wear a tuxedo, you can play the clarinet, or you got to be dressed up and got to do it, be dressed spiffy or something like that. Because it's hard. There's just different instruments that do well in high school. I enjoyed playing it, and I enjoyed some of the songs I did. But if I had known what I know now, I didn't really listen to Benny Goodman or these other good clarinet players when I was younger, so I just didn't really know what you could do with it. But there was more options for as far as music. Most guys were playing the guitar or drums because they were trying to get the girls, right? So
yeah,
I'm a drummer. I cannot contest to that. Nobody cares about the drummer.
no, but this was kind of classic. They would go learn, some parts of Smells Like Teen Spirit because they thought Kurt Cobain was actually something to emulate for some reason. Thinking, don't forget to buy the pistol with the guitar.
Shotgun.
My bad.
Yeah.
Shotgun.
Oh yeah, shit. All we need is a flute player, and we'll have Jethro Tull.
There you go.
That would be awesome.
That would be.
The whole Cobain thing. Like, I threw my Kurt Cobain shirts away a little while ago. I saw Montage of Heck, and that he seems to be, or it seemed that he was using heroin when his baby was lying next to him, and I was like, I don't want to associate with this guy. I mean, I like his music, but seriously, idolizing him? Fuck that. Sorry, fuck. I mean, sorry guys, I just demonetized you again.
You did. No, it's okay.
No, we're good. I demonetized us within 30 seconds of us going live.
Rob is the demonetizer. If you need to demonetize your channel, you bring Rob on.
That's right, because I'll say fuck within the first 30 seconds of going live.
No, but seriously though, I mean, that just is insane. And there was a whole theory going around back in 2000 or something like that, even after he died, that he was murdered by Courtney Love. And I mean, look at the guy. Seriously, you really think he didn't want to kill himself? Of course he did. I mean, he was in agonizing pain 24/7. He was a heroin addict. He escaped from rehab like 2 or 3 times. Of course he did it himself. No, but there were other fingerprints on the gun. And no, there weren't. I mean, he killed himself, and you just want his music back and be glad for some. Okay, stick with me on this one. But how many bands did we know that went beyond their heights? I mean, if Nirvana would make 3-4 more records, it would have been shitty anyway. Yeah. So be glad with the music you got.
This is exactly what I've observed, especially with so many people who are now going completely unhinged, celebrities, musicians, actors, actresses, who they frankly would have been better off if they had died a long time ago, because all they've done is lived long enough to undo their legacy, right? You see like Jim Carrey, he's just, nobody's going to remember his. They're going to get to a point where people cannot watch their stuff because they're thinking too much about what they are now. And
socialism is one hell of a drug.
That or Satan blood or something like that. I don't know what they do. They're spirit cookings or whatever.
Spirit cookings.
Spirit cookings.
I mean, I remember that. Ooh.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking with so many things, when like TV shows end, and you're like, oh, why didn't they do more of them? No, you always want them to end when you want more, because every show that drags it out, they debase themselves because they're trying to come up with something new. So you just got to learn when to quit while you're ahead. But
agreed.
No,
like they did with Cowboy Bebop, who someone here has not seen.
Yeah.
Ruh-roh.
Uh-oh.
Who might that be?
Oh, shit.
We don't have cable on my ship.
There you go.
Wait, Commander, we've got a loose cannon on deck.
It's one way of phrasing it.
We got a stowaway on board.
Is Aaron here? Please don't.
Let's get Aaron. Oh, we can get Aaron on here.
No,
I'm waiting for the tweet. Hey, can you guys let me in?
Oh God.
I know, right?
Let's see.
I haven't seen it yet.
No, I haven't seen it yet either. I'm waiting for it though.
Let me.
But since we just brought it up, I don't know if he's watching or not right now.
It's possible. It depends on where he's at. I don't know. He may be adventuring. Well,
he may be playing golf like an old man.
Aaron isn't really that old, is he? He's like 39.
He's younger than me. He's 40
in body or spirit.
Something.
I'm older than all you fucks.
Well, if we're going off of spirit or mind, Aaron's about 382. So
right.
There is that.
Aaron is an old man in an old man's body.
he's got both.
Yeah, he's got both covered.
He's got both covered.
Funny. Now, Rob, you haven't seen Cowboy Bebop, have you?
No, I haven't, and I don't
Okay.
give a fuck what you guys think either.
Now that's a pirate life.
There
That's
you
right.
go. I was
That
gonna
is
say,
right.
bring Aaron on. He can chastise me, and I can go. I don't care, Aaron. I don't give a fuck.
You do realize I will be bringing that for Village by the Sea.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that's right.
I'll be making sure that I'm getting way hammered that particular night.
we could do one. Here's what we could do. We could broadcast the camera from behind us. We'll do Mystery Theater, Science Theater, and
You mean Beavis and Butthead is more like it?
Yeah, well, well, you could absolutely do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Fire! I am the great Cornholio.
And then we'll just invite Jack via the hangout here, and he can watch
Yeah.
along with us.
Hell yeah!
Wait, what are we doing?
What did I disagree to?
What did I miss? What you guys
Something-
fucking drafted me into?
And
Something
watching
about theater.
watching Cowboy Bebop and commenting
Oh,
on
like
it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that would be cool, by the way. I mean, I don't, and I talked to Rob about this as well, and I'm not scared of saying it live or anything, but I'm so glad that I found guys like you. I really am, man. Ever since I met Rob, I consider Rob as a friend at this point because
Absolutely.
it's just a good thing finding guys, even though it's on the net. I mean, these are the best of times and the worst of times. They
Yes.
really are.
Yes.
Lee, when you look at technology and medical, whatever, we are in the best of times ever. But when you look at culture and socially, these really are the worst. I mean, being a man, and of course, our Lord and Savior, leader of everything, Rolo, has posted this today, that all these rallies are going around that it's toxic masculinity that's causing these shootings. No, back off. It is the lack of masculinity that's been causing all this nonsense. It is the feminization of everything. And I know not all women, blah blah blah. Like no women, no women on my ship. Get off.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah, get off. But
Yeah.
being a man in these days, it's all like everywhere, especially in Europe. As soon as I like to wear my shirts like this, like as far open as I can do it, without being completely open. And it's like, oh, you just think you're a macho and blah blah. And what if I do? Hmm?
Yeah.
You gonna stop me, you scrawny bitch? You can't even lift a bar. Like, but no, you can't. You're being shamed all the way. And then you meet guys like this, like you, like TJ, Vincent, and Rob. And so finally everything falls together. There are still people out there who think alike.
Well, we are in a sense pirates.
Yes.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
shit.
It kind of reminds me of speaking of pirates. If you have not seen Captain Blood with Errol Flynn, he was his breakthrough film. It came out in '36. His co-star Olivia de Havilland is still alive. She's like 100 something. She was 19 in the movie, but he's this guy who's been sold into slavery in the into the West Indies or whatever, and he and a bunch of other guys escape. They're all political prisoners, right? And they become pirates because they just go, we're outcasts we're outlaws in our own land and outcasts in any other, so we're going to become pirates. And that's kind of how now that I think about it, that's kind of how I see it now. We are not welcome in places that we would call home, and we're not going to be at home anywhere else. So let's either fix bayonets or raise the Jolly Roger and go about plundering. Like let's take what we can from this world because we don't really have any other choice. But
Creation sun hat goddesses.
Right. One of the things I do like about this is, though, it's kind of a club an exclusive club because only a few number of men are going to pass through the. In some ways, it's an agoge. In a ways where men are put through the high school system, the education system. I don't know what it's like in your country, but they're put through the education system, through the higher education system and all this other stuff. And it's all intended to break a man's spirit. And so now when he comes out, does he maintain his spirit or has it been broken? Mm-hmm. And only a few men will get out with their sense of, they're basically just that they're what word would I use other than their own spirit? This idea that they're in charge of their own lives, that they're not broken, right? They're not been broken in like a horse, right? I'm just reading a book about how the cowboys would, they get the Bronco busters and they get guys to teach the horses that you're going to submit to us. Well, we're the horses that wouldn't submit. So we've been chucked off the ranch, right? We're going to be free. My freedom.
Well, you're absolutely right. And the education system here is it's disastrous. It's repulsive, to be very honest, because I went to college to become a teacher and I quit after 6 months because, first of all, into debt. No, thank you. Second, I had a single mom in my class and she was high-fived by the teacher because good for you, girl, for showing that man the curb.
What?
Seriously. She was high-fived in the middle of class because she was a single mom, and she was like, what happened to the father? Oh, I kicked him to the curb. Oh, you go, girl. And they high-fived in the middle of class. Later, I found out the dad was an alcoholic even before the child was born. But nobody talks about that. No. Like, how dare we ask responsibility of the women? I mean...
the women.
Yeah, and we had a teacher for literature, and she said to me, like, well, if I feel something, that means it's true for me, which makes it a fact for me. And I was like, that is not how reality works, lady. So Aristotle, is that the Socratic method? No, yes and no. I mean, Aristotle had an entire book about rhetoric and things like that, and the ways of debating. And I was like, that is such an appeal to emotion. I don't even know where to begin. But she didn't agree with appeals to emotion because how I feel makes it true for me. And I was like, I'm getting into depth for this. And you know what? I'll figure something out. Yeah. I'm not doing this. And then they whine and complain about the lack of men in the education system. And I mean, well,
go figure.
Huh? Really? Well, where do you want me to start? Because all the guys I did have there were oh so feminine. I mean, by God. They said they were straight, but seriously, if they told me otherwise, I'd believe them anyway. And not that I mind that. Oh, I'm getting into dangerous territory right now. I mean, okay, you have sexual preference and you have the way you express that outside of your sexual preference, if you know what I mean. As in, you can be very flamboyant, as in the whole look at me, or you can be Jack Donovan, you can still be a man. I think I did this the most politically correct way I could ever do this. But these guys were straight, and they were like Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. Those hosts.
Oh,
if you know what I mean. But that is the masculinity these kids are getting to see these days. I mean, no wonder we get this pandering generation where if anything goes wrong, you just have to be like, no, it's okay. We won't clap. We'll use jazz hands instead.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Jazz hands.
Fuck jazz hands.
So yeah, that's Europe right now. That's Europe right now. So,
I mean,
yeah.
But here's the thing, though. These people, these men, are a bunch of emotionally fragile, psychologically broken men, young men or males. But here's the thing: when they're programmed to suddenly become decisive, violent, brave, recklessly brave, I would say stupid, when it comes time to defend the hive or the narrative or the religion, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they all worship. This is actually, I've been thinking about this concept of a god for someone. Like, what is a god? When is someone worshiping a god? It's someone whom, whenever they get angry with you, it's because you did something wrong. Right, that's a god. So if you believe that whenever somebody gets angry at you, you must have done something wrong, you believe that they're a god and you worship them. So that change your behavior in order to placate them at all costs, because if they get angry with you, you must have done a sin. So that's a form of worship. So I see this freaking everywhere, where somebody throws a total temper tantrum and everybody just freaks out. Doesn't matter. You can't criticize them. You can't say that they're acting like a child. They got upset. You need to change your behavior right now, right? Even though you may have been perfectly reasonable to say what you say and they did not respond well, it's saying you need to worship them, right? You've offended a God, right? And so when you're telling about the professor, the halfway to saying, well, I feel this way, and so it's true for me, right? Mm-hmm. That's kind of what happens is they get upset and they believe they're a god. And so when they get upset, somebody else has sinned. So they must repent and do penance or give an indulgence or something like that. That's usually why they have to, you have offended me, so you need to make a donation to some women's group, right? And then you need to post a public apology and repent and return back to the path of righteousness.
Oh, God. This is what I love about you Yanks and your politics. You now have the ultimate alpha in charge. Like, he will not apologize, and I love it. Like, there was a while ago, this woman came out, like, he harassed me, and the first thing he said was, well, she's not my type. I mean...
yeah, that's probably the best thing you could have said.
So I'm getting the saying that Rob sent the guy with the Kentucky rifle. You want me to narrate it right now?
Yes, read that shit here right now.
All right.
Do your best voice, TJ. Jack, I want to hear your take on this too, because I sent it to you as well. I want to hear you narrate it too.
All right, here we go. Own a musket for home defense, since that's what the founding fathers intended. Before ruffians break into my house, what the devil? As I grab my powdered wig and Kentucky rifle, blow a golf ball size hole through the first man, he's dead on the spot. Draw my pistol on the second man, misses him entirely because it's smoothbore, nails the nails the neighbor's dogs. After resort to the cannon mountain at the top of the stairs, loaded with grape shot. Tally ho, lads! The great shot sends 2 men in the blast. The sound and extra shrapnel set off car alarms. Fix. I can't do it.
Come on, you can do it.
Fix bayonet and charge the last terrified rapscallion. Waiting on the police to arrive, since triangular bayonet wounds are impossible to stitch up. Just as you probably intended.
Hey, Jack, I want to hear your English version of this. Come on. You can do this.
Gosh, I couldn't do it. I was reading this thing for the first time.
Yeah, me too. I've been scanning it a bit. Okay. Own a musket for home defense, since that's what the founding fathers intended. 4 ruffians break into my house. What the devil? So I grab my powdered wig and Kentucky rifle. Blow a golf ball size hole through the first man. He's dead on the spot. Draw my pistol on the second man. Misses him entirely because it's smoothbore and nails the neighbor's dog. I have to restore to the cannon mounted at the top of the stairs, loaded with grape shot. Tally ho, lad! The grab shot shreds 2 men in the blast. The sound and extra shrapnel set off the car alarms. Fix bayonet and charge the last terrified rapscallion. Bleeds out, waiting on the police to arrive, since triangular bayonet wounds are impossible to stitch up, just as the founding fathers intended.
That's that was brilliantly Shakespearean.
Tally ho, lads!
Shakespearean.
I was trying to do it more like them that they are Kentucky Fried Chicken.
You
did good.
You've got to get Aaron to do it.
Jesus Christ!
I can't do it.
That was good.
Oh my gosh, we got to do more readings.
Oh yeah, we should.
We should absolutely.
Like, that could be a thing in the chat. Like, what do you guys want TJ and me to read?
Yeah, send memes. Send the little things like what Red Crusader sent to me to my IG, and I copied and pasted it to you guys because I wanted to hear your takes on it.
There's this guy on Twitter, Delicious Taco, keeps retweeting him. There's this guy who does Japanese porn names. Absolutely amazing.
That's pretty funny.
The rough translations are awesome.
Oh God, they are hysterical. Oh Jesus! Hey, thanks, Red Crusader. That was fun.
Yes, that was entertaining.
Speaking of Kentucky, for those of you who have never seen it before,
Oh shit. Here's how you get demonetized, guys, right here. Showing of firearms.
so I have polished back, or I've repolished the brass on this. So
Vince, put him full screen.
Oh yeah, hang on. I'm looking at your thing that you sent. That's the
yeah, here it is.
No, that's you, Vince. Put TJ full screen.
Hang on. Keep. Why do I keep?
What are you trying to do there, boy? You can't even go fix it on their screen.
Click on TJ.
I know. Hang on. I am clicking on. Hang on. There we go.
No, you're getting close.
Why is this? Why is this not? Every time I click on the person,
They know it's a gun.
Oh, that may very well be.
it's
God damn you, big brother!
every time because
you ain't gonna stop us from showing off them there guns.
hang on. There we go. There we go.
Hey, now show it, TJ.
All right.
You can't click on the thumbnail. You have to click on the little person icon in the thumbnail.
Yeah. So this is my Hawkins rifle, and for those of you who know, this is a percussion cap, not a musket, because muskets you have the pan. So just like the founding fathers intended.
You need the bayonet for it, just like the founding fathers intended too.
You do, yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
Parents on a daily basis, just staying in the life of a patriot. That tree behind me, I got to put some thread below its base because the tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants.
God.
Oh my god. You know what the funny thing is? I mean, I think that the founding fathers sounded more British actually than American.
Well, that's why we wanted your voice, because they probably did sound more fucking British.
It depends on what if they were from certain parts of the country, they would have probably had that British accent. Other parts would have had more of the. I mean, if they were Scots-Irish from the Appalachians, they'd have sounded like they do now. I mean, that's the accent that they've had ever since they left Scotland. Boston, I think they probably had that touch of it, but I think the accent had actually. Here was an interesting thing, little geek tidbit. I don't quite know where I read this, but I read there was this. If you ever saw the Robin Hood film with Kevin Costner where he did his own accent, he did the American accent, right? He didn't even bother because they just said you can't do a British accent, so don't do it. And everybody was paying for it because their impression was, well, yeah, Errol Flynn, British accent. What the freak? Well, there was some British, somebody who does speech history or language or whatever it is. What do you call that?
A linguist?
A linguist. He was of the opinion that actually at one point in British history, English history, that the English people's accents were similar to the American accent at one point. I don't know if that's true. I think that was a theory, but because we all know at one point it was more of a German, because English is originally a German language. It was Normanized by the Norman oppressor, the yoke of the Norman. But it would have been interesting to see what people actually. I think that's one of the interesting things about history is thinking, what did people actually sound like in these time periods? Because we know up until a certain point because of technology, but it would be interesting to see what they actually sounded like. The colonials, did they sound more British, or did they actually have that New England accent? Oh, you're laughing about something? Was in the chat.
Yeah, we're talking about cunning linguists.
Yeah, no, sorry. Go on, please.
Yeah, and so I mean, if you look at the English language, it used to be spelled very phonetically. The Middle English during Chaucer's time. So, ironically enough, it would have been much easier for a child to learn English then because the words were spelled exactly as they sounded. You know, it looked. I have a copy of the Canterbury Tales in the original version, and it reads like a kid who's learning to write for the first time in his life. So why they decided to change it to make it so much more harder to learn, I don't know. But I think the accents were probably varied.
Hmm.
Yeah.
couple of Dutch guys as well, I believe.
Right.
No, the Dutch settled heavily in New Jersey in the 1600s.
New York used to be Dutch, the original town.
Yeah, we sold it for like $10 or something.
Something
No,
like
it was
that.
taken over by the British.
Oh, I thought we sold it.
No, it was Manhattan was bought for $10, I think. In fact, I have a book over there that says apparently the Indians there was a little bit of loss in the translation. The Indians thought that the settlers were buying the land, but not buying the hunting and fishing rights or something like that, because that's all they really cared about. They're like, fine, you can have the land, we don't want it. But they gave them these things that for the Indians were a big deal, but for them it's like, we got plenty of these things. But in Indian culture, they was very rare. No practical value, but stuff like that. So very interesting. I was actually speaking of rifles, I was watching a very interesting show. It was with a very young Sean Bean that came out in the 90s called Sharp, and it's about a British lieutenant during the Peninsula War. That's when Napoleon was in Spain. And there's a scene where he's saying, okay, you guys shoot 2 shots per minute. The French that are coming tomorrow shoot 3 rounds per minute. If we go up against them now, you're all going to get massacred. So we got to teach you how to shoot faster. So what he does is he eliminates the part of the procedure to load and fire your weapon. He eliminates the ramrod. What he says is throw your powder in, put the bullet in, and then just hit it against the ground. And then I'll put the bullet in, and then you kneel when you shoot, and you're shooting at cavalry, right? So as long as you don't point the gun down. So he was teaching this procedure to load really quickly. So I thought that was an interesting tactic that I hadn't seen in a film. The nice thing about this rifle, and I've showed this before, is it has a hair trigger right there. So when I pull this back and then I pull that back, I just tap that and this will go off.
Oh, nice.
So I can shoot very, very accurately with this gun, as opposed to other guns where you have a very long pull on the trigger.
Just as the founding fathers intended.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really shit.
It's like them founding fathers wanted to go to shoot up them some redcoats. Actually, I sent on my Twitter for people who want to read about it how the British were trying to implement gun control policies. That's what kicked off the revolution, and they were actually planning after they had won the war to confiscate all firearms and not allow any American citizens to have firearms, and that we would be ruled by a permanent standing army. So they've already accomplished step 2, and they're trying to accomplish step 1. And guys, if you don't got one, get one. If you got them, do not give up the ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Captain goes down with his ship.
Yeah, go down. And it's like they're not. And here's the problem, though: they're never going to actually directly come from the guns. They're going to say, "Oh, turn in your guns, or we won't process your tax return. We won't let you renew your car tabs. We're going to suspend your bank account. All these online. You'll be deplatformed, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Is what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing they'll
Just
do is
like,
they'll require they will make it so that all rifle or gun ownership is public, so it's public record. So somebody will then file public request, post all the names, and then start reporting them to all the different payment processors, to credit card companies, to banks, to employers. So essentially, they'll make it so that gun owners. But the problem is, there's so many gun owners and so many guns. They're not going to do it all in mass. They're going to just use it against people who stick their head up above the crowd, right?
It's a multi-decade plan.
Yeah, multi-decade plan.
Yeah, it's exactly, not exactly, but it's like how 1984 and Brave New World, how those societies work in principle. It's you just shame them, and you indeed by small steps you get what you want.
It's
Like,
socialist and communist creep. Yep.
Yeah, but what do these people need, and where do they get it? And like that, they'll start implementing little things. As you just said, like your car insurance. Well, we can't renew that because, well, you have a gun.
Well, I mean, when
Sorry.
they were kicking people off of Chase Bank, that's to me was okay. I don't want to hear anything anymore about how they're private companies and they can do whatever they want. That's not what we were hearing for the last 10 years. We were hearing you can't discriminate. That's what I've been hearing for the last 10, 15 years. We can't discriminate. Okay. You got to do that. You can't just turn around. But that's what these people are. They wear a different mask depending on the scenario. If it's
It depends on who pays them.
yeah, it all depends on the situation. They're all about discrimination if they don't like you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yes. Completely true. Like the whole thing, they're a private company, they can do what they want. No. It's not private anymore. This is corporatism 101. I mean, corporations get involved with the government, and then corporations do what the government want. And that's how you slowly but surely get to the situation where we're in now. I mean, we have the same thing in the Netherlands with healthcare. People don't like when I say this, but I will stand firm with this argument. Like, healthcare in the Netherlands is mandatory. You will either get arrested and kicked in jail, or you will have to pay a fine if you're not insured. But now what they do is they kick up the monthly payments. What's it called again? The
premium.
Yes, the premium. So the premiums are getting higher every year. And everybody's like, well, that's because they privatized it. No. If they actually privatized it, it wouldn't be mandatory. Because when something is mandatory, you can ask whatever you want because it's mandatory. And I always say, like, yes, if I was a baker and bread was mandatory to be bought, I would have made it as expensive as possible. I mean, wouldn't you? If the state forces you to do things like that, I mean, the one who sells it can make it as expensive as he wants. And then the argument is like, no, but healthcare is for everybody. Yeah, but the thing with that is, I mean, sure, as long as they don't waste it, because we have this obesity epidemic right now, and the whole what's it called again? Medication and things like that. That epidemic.
Oh, like the opioid crisis or something?
Yeah, like the opioid crisis. I mean, you've got kids being prescribed ADHD for nothing but being a boy, actually. I mean, that's what it comes down to. He has too much energy and he's not paying attention in class. Well, maybe you shouldn't be such a boring twat. Nobody asks her that. Like, are you boring? Could that be it? No, nobody asks that. No, it's the child. But the whole thing that's keeping the system together is just enforcement from above. And slowly but surely with private companies, they're not private anymore because it's mandatory. You can say YouTube and Twitter, things like that, have become mandatory in this society. Like, if you want to stay in touch and do things like this, I mean, I don't see anybody building a new YouTube right now.
No.
Unfortunately.
No. It'll only come about when it becomes a necessity. Kind of like even with a lot of the peer-to-peer, the P2P stuff that came out when Napster went through all of their bullshit because they were centralized. It's the same thing.
Yeah. It's a big gloomy subject.
No, I'm glad you brought it up, Jack, because most of the viewership here is in the United States. And so having someone that is not from the United States telling it how it is, that's what I was telling the guys in the chat was, listen up here, guys. Here's, what is potentially our future is what's going on in your country right fucking now.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's good to hear
this. The thing with Europe is, and this is my take on it, I'm not a high-class intellectual. I haven't studied society or
no,
European
you're a guy
history.
You're boots on the street, dude.
Yeah, I'm just boots on the street. Indeed, that's a good way of phrasing it. The thing is, Europe is, in my honest opinion, we're too prospering. Everything is good. Everything is fine. You've got everything you need. But those things have become, by the state, mandatory. What's happening now is that the gap between rich and poor is growing because they, like, your California is our Amsterdam. or the other way around. Amsterdam to us, I'm in the north of the Netherlands, has become California to us because they've got this lefty mayor right now. And you know what the west of the Netherlands has implemented? That diesel cars are no longer allowed in the region. And you've got all these blue-collar workers right here, factory workers, you name it, plumbers, you name it. They have diesel cars because diesel is very, the usage is low when it comes to diesel. But no, they are not allowed into the Great West anymore because it's not good for the environment. And I'm like, seriously, you wanted to bring people together? Now you're dividing them even more. Just because they have a car that's low on cost. I mean, things like that, all for the environment. It's always for the environment or the children. It's a shield. It's a shield for an agenda. And what you see with the healthcare, because we have that, we have nationalized healthcare and things like that. But that's when you get the whole obesity epidemic. At least with us, I know it's in the States, it's different. But the whole obesity epidemic, the whole medication thing, opioid crisis, things like that, because it's available and it's easy. And that's why I say we're too prosperous. Everything has become easy. You got a problem, we've got a drug for that. Your child is being disobedient, we got a drug for that. It's all become, there's no struggle anymore. And I love the way how Jack Donovan put this in The Way of Men, that masculinity, true, virtuous, capable, especially capable. I think capable is one of those things that really defines masculinity, is no longer needed. It's an option. You can choose to be a man. And especially in Europe, because most of the guys here are whips. To be very honest, I mean, most of these guys are really soy boys. I mean, most of them have never touched a bar or lifted anything or put their backs into it anyway. And it's a very hermit, I think it's the word, hermit society. I mean, most of the
everyone's pretty much isolated, is what you're saying when you're saying hermit society. Everyone's kind of by themselves.
Yeah, most guys are,
Okay.
at least guys that I encounter, and that's what I talked about with a plate of mine. And she's like, "Well, you go home and do things. Most of the guys go home and play video games." And I know I've got a Nintendo right there, people, but I don't play it often. Look at me defending things. Yeah, I play it often. So what?
Oh, fuck it.
No, but they go home and they play video games and that's it. Whether I want to go out and meet new people, do things. Luckily, we have the internet. Like for an extrovert like me, it's amazing. Like, ooh. But it has become stagnant. Really, like we're in this drag. Go to work, go home, go to sleep, go to work, go home, go to sleep, go home, go to work, or something like that. And that could be society in general. I think the states are like that as well into certain
Pretty
things.
similar. Mm-hmm.
But
in some areas, yes.
Yeah, but as soon as you have the government taking care of you, taking care of everything, it's done. And there is no more struggle. Everything is fine. Everything is good. The government will take care of you. Just give us a bit of your paycheck and everything will be fine. And now I've got a funny little thing in this whole depressing state.
I don't consider it depressing. It's just how it is. So bring it on, please.
Because this comes from our IRS website. And I hope I can still find it. No, it's not this one. Seriously, I read this and I just couldn't stop laughing. How insane this was. Let me check if I can find it. Why? La, 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 la. I can't find it, but I'll paraphrase this one. Where are TJ and Vince anyway?
I'm here.
Oh, Finch, you're here. Nice.
Yeah.
You've been listening all this time.
I
But
have.
the IRS website, because we, when you work, you save up holiday money. It's what we call it, like money to spend in your holiday, things like that.
Mhm.
For every worked hour, a certain percentage goes to the holiday money. But there comes a time when you have to either take up 3 days or let it be paid out. But when you decide to let it be paid out, you pay 40% of tax on that.
Wow.
Now, this is saved up money which you already pay taxes for since it's your job payment.
And then
your
almost another half
salary.
on top of that.
Yeah, so you already paid for your salary. You already paid income tax. Those are two different things in here. And then if you want to have your holiday money, you have to pay 40% over that as well. Now, on the IRS website, I can't find the link. Shit, such a shame. But it said there was a headline like, "Aren't I paying double taxes?" And they seriously said this. Well, that could be true, but you're paying double taxes anyway when it comes to this sort of tax and this sort of tax. So it's completely normal.
Wow.
What? No.
Yeah, Chest Rockwell said 70% tax for not going on vacation, basically. He's doing the math, apparently. That's insane.
Yeah, it is. And well, people wonder why I'm a libertarian. But
I knew there was something about you.
yeah, I know. But it's when you start thinking about it, it becomes very bleak. I mean, I still have enough money to do whatever I want. Not everything, but the thing is, you just pay so much tax. It's insane. You pay 21% tax on food, and no,
On
wait,
food?
no. Let me rephrase that. 9% on life needs, as in your groceries. That's 9%, and all the other things is 21% taxed.
Wow.
So yeah, and the weird thing is taxes have been going up, but your salary has, or the salary in the Netherlands has stagnated since the 1970s.
Damn.
At least something like that. That's been put out lately. So every year the government comes out and they're like, economy good, numbers green. But then you think about it and you're
Well,
like,
you're looking at your paycheck and you're saying, well, there's something wrong here. There's a discrepancy.
Yeah.
with what you're being told.
Yeah. So yeah, things like that. And what you've got going in the States right now, that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez woman,
Oh, don't even get
with
me
her whole
started.
socialism thing and things like that. And I know, sorry about the whole politics stuff and blah, blah, blah. But these women are, if there's any Democrat or lefty in the audience, these women are playing on your emotion. They are.
Absolutely.
They say they want the best for everybody. They don't. They want the best for themselves. Look at Soviet Russia, things like that.
Mhm.
Everybody should have been equal, but everything that was paid for went to Stalin and his regime. The same with Maoist China. The same with Cuba.
Well, not only that, when you have a centralized government like there, the amount of red tape to get something done is insane. And then what happens is you have workers, mid-level workers, who are so afraid of making a mistake and making a decision that they won't implement something for fear of being shot.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not that bad here yet, but
well, no, exactly, yeah. But I mean, as far as communist Russia, when it came down to actually painting, it was like municipal type equipment. It was either a green or a red paint, and apparently it was either they couldn't decide or there wasn't enough of the one paint, so they didn't want to do anything because they were afraid of making a wrong decision, being removed from the job, being executed for it. So nothing got done. The equipment just sat there.
yeah.
And that's essentially what winds up happening. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. But the thing is, everything is a bureaucracy around here. If you want something done, you have to fill in this, you have to fill in that, and do you have a permit?
Well, that's it exactly. Yeah, and that it's this hamster wheel of red tape and bureaucracy. Absolutely.
Yeah, I looked that up because I wanted to. I'm looking for a room right now in a larger city, and I was thinking about a rough translation living boat, as in just
Like a houseboat. Okay.
Yeah.
a houseboat. Yeah, houseboat. I looked that up. Like, how does that work? And they were like, well, you gotta have a permit, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. And I was like, why can't I just buy the damn thing? Like, how hard is it? I have the money here. Give it to me.
Yep.
Responsibility is my own.
Permits, insurance, registration, all the above. Licenses,
It's always the same. It's always the same stupid. It's for everybody's safety argument.
No, that's
stop pandering to us like children.
It's the illusion of safety. It's not actual safety. It has nothing to do
Yeah.
with safety, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I told my father this as well because he still watches television. I don't know why. But there was something on about Bitcoin and blah, 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 and the news outlets were all like, Bitcoin is bad. And I looked at him and I told him, now you got to invest in Bitcoin. He looked at me,
Yeah,
why?
and when the
'Cause they
media
hate it.
tells you something's bad, yeah, you know it's good.
Then it's good.
It's the exact do the exact opposite what you see on TV.
Yeah, and we've got this. If anybody follows Sean Baker on Twitter, MD, you should. He's the head guy for the carnivore diet. But right now in the Netherlands,
yeah.
in the Netherlands, it's insane. The whole vegan agenda, and they had an article out about, what was it, a month, maybe 2 months ago, about eating 500 grams of red meat a week could be cancerous. Like,
What?
they went as far to say as 500 grams a week. People take you serious, and then you meet these all green eating idiots, and you're like, seriously? Oh, nice, ATJ. But that is what it has come to. It has the green agenda all over. Red has turned to green right now, all in the name of veganism. And the environment.
You missed out on a hell of a lot, TJ.
You did.
Yeah, my apologies.
Hey, while we're at there, we got a bit of a break here for a second. We're about a half hour behind as far as the public service announcement goes. It's currently about, well, at least my time, it's 8:33, so 10:33 Eastern Standard, and whatever time it is in your part of the world. But it's that time, children. It's time to press the like button. And also to subscribe if you haven't already. Please hit the like button. It doesn't cost you anything but a click, and it sends tingles to YouTube's vagina so that we can get more exposure for the video. So go ahead and hit the like. That way we can counter my ex-wives and ex-girlfriends and whoever else is ratioing us at this point. But hit the like button, guys. Hit subscribe. Hit the little notification bell so you know when we're on next, which, you know, happens to be pretty much every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Excellent. Fantastic. That was probably one of your better commercials. We appreciate that, Rob. Thank you.
That
was very good.
We have 5 dislikes. I mean,
we do.
It's my ex-wives.
I finally show my face to the world. I bless you with my presence.
And this is the thanks that you get. Yeah.
Yeah, you get my 5 exes getting on there going, we still fucking hate you.
Do your exes not have an eye for this talent?
No, they don't. Anything that's related even remotely near me, Jack, you're going to find out. They'll figure out that I'm on Red Evenings with you, and they'll come over and start disliking our stuff there too. So,
well, interaction is interaction.
Exactly. Yeah, they're still fans, whether they know it or not.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, that's if it's men that hate you want to be you, and it's women that hate you want to be with you.
Yep.
You need to look out for the women who don't feel anything at all. That's when you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, the indifference. That's where. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, when they hate you, you're on the right path.
You're doing
it right. When
you're doing the right thing. Exactly.
Yeah, when they're angry with you, it's just a very short step towards where they go crazy for you.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, hate leads to banging.
Banging hate leads.
It's not quite.
Well, hey, there's a couple steps in between, but that's the equal.
Exasperation. Often.
No, I'm saying
Can
maybe.
you Yoda that out? Like, make the entire version. Like, hate leads to banging, banging leads to.
Well, no, it's more.
No,
it's more
if anger
look
leads
at-
to hate leads to dislikes, dislikes leads to banging. That's what it is.
I would
And
say
banging leads to the Tradcons.
Rob's gonna get a bunch of DMs in his Twitter now from random women.
Hey, Jack, Red Crusader's wanting to know about your show. Can you post a link in the chat for him?
I can.
To your channel, at least.
Oh yeah, of course.
Something
Oh,
like that.
by the way, Rob, now that we're at it, can we do Red Evening on Sunday, please?
At same time?
same bad
Yeah.
channel.
Yeah, because I am doing some. Oh crap! I'm doing this completely wrong. I am going out on Friday night. Oh my
Yeah, we can
God.
do it. We can do it Sunday.
No, I haven't gone out in years, so this is going to be
How
new
cute is
to me.
Are you taking her to the dance, man?
No, I'm leaving her. I'm leaving her at home, and I'm going with a friend to the largest city of students in the north.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah. That's
now?
gonna
Are
be-
you wearing your dance shoes? Right?
Yeah,
Don't wear
shoes,
your
not
shoes.
sneakers.
Yeah, wear
Oh,
your
is
shoes.
this a subtle hint for me to show my awesome boots?
Well, why not?
Those wee little boots.
Yeah, my boots. No, but seriously though, stare at clouds and yell at them. Clouds are assholes. Oh my god! Oh my god! The Twitter spurgs are really at it right now. I
Yeah.
mean, broken men. We're all broken men, right?
Apparently.
Yes.
I mean, just look at the comments because the story, the little story I told about my mom, it's gonna come back to me. You just have mommy issues. Want to
Of
bet?
course.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Where are they?
Yeah.
Can I reach it?
Well, goddamn.
Sweatpants.
Sweatpants and boots. There you go.
Yep.
Ah, crap.
All right. Well, he's looking for boots. I'll go find his channel because he didn't fucking put it up there.
TJ, you okay? You look like you're in a trance.
No, I'm just.
Yeah. Am I boring you, TJ?
Oh, yeah.
Should reveal more skin. These are the boots I will be wearing taking her to dance.
Nice.
Oh, you're gonna do some Saturday Night Live fever?
Yeah, something like that.
Dancing, yeah.
No, but seriously, I can't do conga dancing though. in ballroom.
Nice.
God.
Fantastic.
No, but I can't remember if it was Vincent or TJ, but Rob told me that one of you also has a sort of boot collection.
That would be Vince.
That
Yeah.
would not be me.
Yeah. That would be me.
Can you show us?
Yeah, I can show you. Hang on. I'm partial to a Chelsea boot. Hang on.
Oh, Chelsea boots are lovely. More of the zipper boot guy myself, but Chelsea's are come in handy a lot. But these are my Jeffrey West boots with red insides,
Oh, nice.
buckle even. I mean, I call them my pirate boots for a reason. Handmade in London, even. It was I was looking for boots. I can't remember how I found them. I think I Googled Lemmy's boots, and Jeffrey West has these boots they called the Lemmy, and then I found them black with red lacing everywhere, and I was like, holy shit, I need to have those. But of course, they didn't make those anymore. But I went to London past December for Christmas and New Year's, and then I found Jeffrey West, the retailer, and then I saw these. And sometimes you walk into a store, you see something, and you just know that's me. And that's what these
Nice.
premium designer Boots. My God, it's like show and tell in preschool.
There you
Love
go.
it.
Hey, you remember you have to share with everyone, right?
Oh, I never was very good at that. Like one teacher almost took my Legos away.
Oh yeah, that's horrible. You can't have your Legos being taken away. This is pretty much everyday wear. I do have monk straps. I have a pair of gray suede Oxfords that I wear. They're good, but this pair of jeans and a t-shirt, and you're good to go. I think you commented on this, as in I need one of these, but it's one of the instant shine sponges, which you can take traveling to just shine up your boots. You know, give it a
That comes in handy.
yeah, just there you go, boys and girls. But yeah, I've got about 3 pair of these, 3 pair of dress shoes. I do not wear sneakers as a rule of course, and I'm not busting on anyone. I've just never really got into the sneaker thing.
Sneakers.
When I was younger, I pretty much all I wore were hiking boots until I realized that's not a real great fashion thing for anybody unless you're actually hiking. So sneakers if you're working out or practicing martial arts, which I have sneakers for that, and dress and the boots. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, yep, and that's it. So there you go. That's my own boot geek and tell. How
So
about you?
see, look at that, Vince. Look at that.
Look at what?
The fact that you said, "Well, I didn't have anything for Geek and Tell."
Well, officially, I didn't. On the books, there was no.
Fuck it, it counts.
Oh, I'm not saying it doesn't. The tip counts. The tip counts. Fucking A, the tip counts.
Good
I was only there a minute. Yeah, it only takes a minute to get pregnant.
That is true. That
Yeah.
is very true. So remember, everyone, make sure you no gloving, no loving.
There's your PSA from
That's my Vince PSA. That's all you're getting tonight, and some boot talk.
That's a good way of putting it. No gloving, no loving.
There you go.
What about boots with the what? What about Red? What are you saying there? What about
boots with the fur? Fur.
Ooh.
No, it's
Oh, you talking about
I'm talking about boots with fire?
fire?
I got
No,
boots with fucking fire.
he's
You mean those ridiculous Uggs?
I don't know. All right.
Do we look like copy paste bitches?
No,
Yeah,
I'm pissed
just,
off. I gotta get my boots
he's
now.
talking about. I think he's quoting a song. Oh, never mind. Yeah, Uggs. That's what they are. God.
Yeah,
that,
that's
stuff
what I
drove
thought,
me. That stuff drove
Yeah.
me nuts. Seeing that with these girls who'd be showing up to something and they'd be wearing jeans or sweatpants and their Uggs.
Hmm.
It's like, get out.
Quoting a rap song, Red Crusader says.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay.
Goodness
quoting
gracious,
a rap
great
song,
boots
okay.
of fire. It could be a rap song about anything.
That is
Rob
true.
is getting his biker boots, isn't he?
It could be. I don't
Makes him
actually
look like
have.
a boot.
Actually, don't have. I'll wear the Chelsea boots when I ride. I don't even. It doesn't bother me.
Oh, now I know which song that is, because the whole club was looking at her. Yeah, I know that song. It's horrible.
There's
nice.
a boot.
Nice.
Yep. This is one pair of riding boots.
Nice.
I know I've showed these to Jack.
Makes him look like he's going fast.
Hell yeah. That's
On
right.
fire.
So there's them. And then the other one I've got is this guy. This is my other wear around town, also a riding boot.
Cool.
So if we're gonna show off boots, there's what you can typically find me in. So
I mean, a good pair of boots can get you a long way.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And this is actually something I got from Rolo's book, weirdly enough, and it's not about hypergamy or whatever, and seriously, kick me for not knowing this one, but I wasn't sure about women paying attention to designer shoes on men. I thought they only looked at that with each other, like in intrasexual competition, but they did it with men as well. Like, what shoes is he wearing? I was like, never
Mhm.
knew that.
Oh yeah. They really do.
Yeah, weirdly enough. So don't wear All Stars, guys. Like everybody is wearing those. Be a little bit extravagant.
Yeah, get something that stands out just a little bit. It doesn't have to be.
I wear my hacking boots.
There you go.
Nice.
If she don't like hacking, we just ain't gonna get along right.
Fair enough.
Well, at least he's got standards.
Oh yeah, of course.
That should be your Tinder profile.
Yeah,
I've got standards.
I've got standards, and 90%
Yeah, my
of
moral
you.
standing's lying down, so fuck it.
I had that once on what was in my description again? No girls over 135 pounds.
How'd that work?
Yes.
How'd that go with the?
Yikes!
Well, what I did, I just started swiping right on everything.
No, just
And
all right.
guess who bit? All the girls over 135.
Of
And
course.
they were all like, I'm over 135. What do you think about that? You're a fat hog. Delete.
Deleted.
Yeah. Exterminate. Exterminate.
It's not.
Sometimes you just have to take the piss out of everything, you know. And
Oh yeah.
I mean, people, why I still don't get that why fat chicks get offended by me wanting to take care of them. Like, it's not good for you, girl, to be that heavy. I mean,
No.
first of
Because
all,
they've been
guys
told
like me are not going to find you attractive.
That's not
That's
what
a
they've been
miss in
told.
your life. Second of all, the heart failure. I mean,
Well, yeah. There's that too.
Yeah, but it's
overall just unhealthy.
laziness. It's an entitlement. I'm the size of Moby Dick, but I deserve Prince Charming without having to do anything. And no one has the sense to tell them. I mean, I showed Rob and Vince this photo earlier this week that I was going through the grocery store and I saw a photo for some wedding magazine, and it had this whale on the cover, and it had something about body positivity. And I just thought, yes, she is positively overweight. Right? Her body is positively overweight. So, but they're constantly being told men will find that attractive, real men will find that attractive, and then they find out that men don't find that attractive,
No.
and then the women shame, and then the men just ignore it for the most part.
That's it.
And then
Smile and
they just keep doing this descent into madness because they've already crossed the Rubicon. So they just start gorging on themselves until they die, right? Or just they completely, then they end up becoming a censor at Google or Facebook or something like that. I mean, if you've seen photos of those lards, but it's the same thing where it's so funny that men get accused of having an entitlement complex when it comes to women, when it's the exact opposite. We're saying, okay, if you want to get a girl, here's what all how do we get the girls, right? That's one of Aaron Clarey's number one questions that he hates to get asked. How do I get the girls? Well, stop asking. But with women aren't asking that question really the same way, but also men aren't allowed to have standards, right? It's kind of a weird complex where they say men aren't allowed to have standards, but here's all the different ways to get men. Like, women get to decide what they need to do to get a man, rather than men saying, here's what I want, what I'm willing to trade. This is all economics, right? It's like somebody who's someone who's trying to buy a car thinking that they get to set the price. It's like, no, I will sell you this car for 10 grand. That's it. No, well, I want it for 5,500. Well, that's nice. It's 10 grand, right? And I just think it's funny how that's the way if a man says, I don't want to date a girl over this amount, but you can't say that. You can't have that standard. Yes, I can. I just did. Well, then you're never going to get anybody. Well, then that means that a lot of girls need to go on Slim Fast.
yeah.
Like, I don't know what to tell you.
TJ's dieting tips.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
Go
love,
on Slim Fast, girl.
I loved. First of all, I love that remark. But also, there was one of the earlier show that shall not be named. Donovan just sat there and he said, "Here's my dating advice for women: buy a cookbook and a treadmill. That'll be $19.99." And like, that has to be my favorite quote of all. Just dating advice for women: buy a cookbook and a treadmill. But the thing is, as you just mentioned, TJ, Men having
you can get this cookbook made
Gee.
specifically for the ladies.
no, but men having standards being so shocking is that most men don't have them.
Oh yeah.
I mean, by having standards, you're already
Yeah.
a minority. Because most of these girls, even if they're fat, overweight, you name it, they'll get hit up in their DMs anyway.
I can
Yeah.
another
That's
thing I
called
can
the
attest
thirst.
to. You have men who I've seen who are in, for their age, they're a 7 or an 8, and they're just they're kind of one of those examples where you're just thinking, do you genuinely not what is going on here? Something ain't right. Something ain't right here, Leroy. This thing's queer than a $3 bill. So
Yeah.
it's true. This is why another reason why women are able to say that men can have standards. I don't think women are wrong when they say, well, if you have these standards, you're never going to be with anybody. I don't argue with that, because to me it's irrelevant. If I have to lower my standards below this certain point, then I'm not, kind of like with a car. If I can't get this much money for the car, I'm not going to sell it. I'm better off just driving it, right?
Yeah.
I'm willing to trade my 1968 Camaro for this much money, but anything below that, I'm not going to sell it. So if you really had wanted to buy my car, you should have saved your money, but you clearly didn't. You spent it in your 20s. Now you have no money.
And now you're broke.
And now you're broke.
And now you're going to blame the government.
Go get them federal government to
No,
give you
gonna
the
blame the guys. Gonna blame the men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's always a bit of the at least the question I try to answer for myself. How did we really get here? Is it not like that, but with the whole women situation, is it really the thirsty guys, or
Yeah.
I mean, who feeds social media gratification?
That is a good question. It's like,
I
what
think-
came first,
I-
the thirsty guy or the thought?
I think
Yeah.
what happened is you have it where it's not about, so just going on the refresher course, for women, it's about attention, right?
Yeah.
And so there's the quality and then there's the quantity of attention. On social media, it's just all about quantity. They get enormous number of compliments, likes, shares. They get inundated with attention. It's just not high quality attention. The problem is most of them are not going to trade quantity for quality. They're not going to trade they're not going to have to, because think about it, they can get all this attention without having to do any work, right? Just being on the internet and saying some basic intelligent things, they're going to get tons of attention, as opposed to if they want to be with a quality man, they're going to have to actually do some decent work to do it. That takes effort. They don't want to do that. It's far easier just to stay on social media, where even in your 50s, you're going to get hit on. You will be, if you're a girl, you can potentially be hit on as long as you stay online for the rest of your life. You can go through your 30s, your 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s up until then. And as long as you're not grotesquely hideous, you're going to get tons of attention. You'll get more attention than most men will ever get
In their entire
lives. So for them, it's, what do you do, right? Why would you give that up? And that's why I think a lot of them struggle with social media after they get married, because now they're competing with the attention of their hubby, with the attention of all these other men. They're like, oh, you're amazing. You're so wonderful. You're so smart, blah, blah, blah. And it just builds her head up. And it's like the husband almost just to balance it out, just as a reminder, you don't know everything. You don't know anything. Like just to bring her down. It's like every day, every morning, he needs to wake up with a hammer, like a sledgehammer, and just knock that pillar right underneath her, because it's being built up by all these men.
Yeah. And there are a couple of ways to deal with that. It just spring to my mind. Then I get back to who got here first. But you can do that in a couple of ways. Either you just set a boundary with her, like, if you want to be with me, you're going to delete your social media, which I understand, however, is a bit radical, since you've
smash the smartphone.
Yeah, because you've got family and things like, on that thing. Or, and this is a bold one, just cut yourself loose from her. Just be very bold in this, but just tell her if you like it so much, it can go to them. Bye.
Or I would just say gender equality. If you get to get all the attention from men, then I'm, you're not. Again, I'm not advocating this for myself personally. I'm just saying if this is the game that they want to play, where you can't tell me what to do, great. Then the men are completely, it's within their purview to flirt with all the cute girls who are hitting on them. And if he wants to flirt with the cute waitress at the dinner table while they're ordering food, that's perfectly fine as well. It's no different on that kind of thing. And yes, he can go out and have dinner with other girls, and he can do all this other stuff. It's like that's the same thing, right?
Yeah, that is an after effect of the, well, you want that, goodbye.
And here's the problem is that for obviously men want sex, women want attention, right? Well, women can get attention from other men after they get married. How is that not the same thing as a guy keeping a mistress?
Mm-hmm.
There's no difference. Or more importantly, let's say that she's a guy, she's doing something where she's making money because she's doing the whole bit on online, whatever. Like I don't know. I think it's just so absurd the way that they try and frame it now as far as relationships on that kind of stuff. So I'm not telling other people what to do with their lives. I'm just saying the way that it's being prescribed, and it has been described to me, TJ, this is the kind of relationship. It is like, no, you don't tell me what to do as far as a relationship or a marriage. 2, that sounds awful. That sounds like that sounds like the highway to a divorce or slavery. I don't know which one's worse. And thirdly, that's, you guys talk about an equal partner and gender equality, but all I see is basically I have to give up all these things and I don't have any say over what's being said or being done. Right. Somebody once said to me, TJ, you got to understand marriage is about compromises. And I go, oh, believe me, I know that. I will make all of them if I get married. Or I'll be expected to. If I got married, I would not. It's whenever they say compromises, yes, she comes into your house and starts taking down all your posters and signs and putting up her stuff, or starts decorating the house, and you have to move all your stuff out to the shed. And it's just like, if I brought a girl in who I was considering, I've told this story before, I would say, what do you think of all, like my grandpa's war stuff over there? What do you think about it? Oh, it's really nice. Well, I'm glad you like it because it ain't moving. Or my Star Wars poster that I have framed over there. Hope you like it because it ain't moving because it was here first. So, just the idea that somebody would get to come into my house and then just start rearranging everything, and I got to move all my stuff out, and then we talk about how that's equality. Like, explain this to me. Somebody explain this.
I mean, she's moving in with you then, right? I mean, your house, your rules. It's the same. And I told you this story about the guy who was afraid to upset his wife. Otherwise, he had to sleep on the couch. The first thing I asked him was, who bought the bed? And he just looked at me in shock. He was like, what do you mean? I'm like, did you pay for the bed or didn't you? He was like, yeah, I did. So who the hell is she to determine who sleeps in it? And he just couldn't believe his ears. And I'm like, fuck that shit.
Did you ever see Bill Burr was doing a stand-up where one of his buddies says, man, wife kicked me out of the bedroom and I had to sleep on the couch again. You know what that's like? No, I don't. His wife, he was having an argument with his wife, and she's like, you can just sleep downstairs. It's just like, I will sleep wherever I want to sleep in this house, right? I'm not rolling up my blanket like I'm Linus, grabbing my blankie to go downstairs, right?
I don't know.
The idea of the man being in the they call it the dog house. It's like, my house is my house. I'm the king of the castle, lord of the manor, master and commander of the ship, lord protectorate of the nation, right? So there's no discussion. Nobody will ever, under no circumstances, will anybody in my house tell me where I'm going to sleep, right? If I want to sleep on the floor surrounded by empty beer bottles, not recommending that, but if I want to do that, it pleases the crown, right? If it pleases the crown and that crown rests on one head, it's that one. So glad we got that clarified for anybody who might be wondering.
Do not enter our houses and expect us to change. None of you.
Well, obviously things would change, but it would just be, I would ultimately, if they said, well, what do you think about this? See, suggestions, I'm open to that. TJ, I had this thought. What is your opinion on this? Oh, great and mighty Lord. And I would say, thank you for I've taken into consideration and I've made the decision that this is what we're going to do.
Well, not for any, TJ. I understand that you're there's a like that you are talking about an extreme here, but given what I know about you and your own standards, I don't foresee that being a problem because it wouldn't get to that point with you or any of us here. So this is pretty much a non-issue. I get it. Maybe somebody in the chat or someone who's listening later.
We're doing this especially for the replay, guys, because even all these yahoos in the chat, we're just preaching to the fucking choir to these guys.
Right.
So it's that poor schmuck that just stumbles across it, or one of these guys goes, here, I shared something in an email for you. You need to fucking watch this. Just shut up and watch it. And then that guy goes, oh, gee, what the hell's this? That's the guy that needs to hear this, because even the dudes in the chat, they know what's up.
Gee, Willikers, you mean I could sleep in my own bed if I want to? That's right, son.
No.
Yeah.
Or some of these guys will go, you have a bed?
No shit.
Right?
No shit.
It's like I sleep on the
That's the
couch.
sad thing. You guys actually have more than just a room? Whoa.
No,
But
they
I
know.
do have to say though, it was a while ago. I had a date. It wasn't really a date. It was more like, hey, are you time at 8? Yeah, I'm free at 8. Okay, see you then. But she only had a mattress, and to be very honest, that was kind of freaking awesome. Just a mattress, and I was like, why don't I just do that? Just remove the bed, just only the mattress. Like, who really cares anyway? And this is, I'd love to debate the guys who say that chicks only go for money, because it's not true. Seriously.
Well, at what point in their lives?
Oh yeah. But if you want the proper demographic of women, everything under 30, they don't really care that much about money, especially because they can make their own right now. I mean, if you don't have a what's it called again, a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, if you are the guy, the one who got away, so to speak, they don't care how much money you have.
Well, and that's that's what's so funny. That's the big secret that they do not want getting out, is that you have an entire group. You have two different groups of men who are basically being rebels. They're not saving. They're not long-term stable. They're not reliable or dependable. They're clearly not marriage material, but they're bad boys and they make girls excited, and excited is good in girl world between the ages of 19 to 27, 8, 29. So those are the guys that they're going to be chasing around. But when it comes time to getting married, that guy has to have the 838 or 883 bullet point checklist of everything that he must have. He must have this, he must have that, he must have this, he must have had, and just, he's got to have, there was that one scene from the movie Up in the Air where that one girl was listing off all of the qualifications she had for a husband. And I just thought, this girl's neurotic. Like, this is loony bin. This is 1930s era loony bin qualifier statement on that stuff. But yeah, they have all these different things that they expect the man to have. He needs to have a house. Now he's an eligible bachelor. He has to have this nice of a car. He needs to make this much money. The ring has to be 3 months, salary. And then the diamond has to be this big. The wedding's got to be this big. Meanwhile, the guy that she hooked up with at a foam cannon party in Cancun, didn't have a penny to his name and was a pothead.
Mm-hmm.
So the secret is keeping the guy who's working hard in his 20s to get a good career so that he can provide for family ignorant about what she's been doing up until the age of 28, 29, right? That's when she's deciding to settle down, and she needs that reliable, dependable guy that hasn't had a lot of success with women. That's the big secret.
Our advice for the young men: just be a pothead. Want to get the girls? Be a pothead.
There you go.
Let the girls do nothing with their life.
All right, gentlemen, we're coming up. Actually, we're past the 2 hour
Oh,
mark.
Fast.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Is there
Wow.
anything?
Wow.
Is there anything else? Anything else you want to do in part, Jack, or tell us about before we sign off? Anything cool? Anything happening? Anything in the works that you want to plug or talk about?
Anything in the works?
Yeah,
Goldman still has to get back to me on the release of the audiobook for Go Forth.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
So it's done. It is going to be released, but he's still partying, so I don't know if he's alive.
He's touring the U.S. Yeah.
Now, TJ's copy, the song of Wolfgar is going to be recorded, maybe even today in its entirety, and next week by Max. Sorry, Max
That's
next week.
gonna be awesome.
I am also talking to a different author who I won't say the name of, but I talked to him. I believe it was 2 days ago or yesterday. Can't remember. Yeah, it was. For me, it was yesterday. Let me say it like that. And I'm going to be narrating 1 or 2 of his books as well. Now, from now on, I will be showing this face in my videos as well.
Cool.
I've been having some good feedback on it. Yay. Especially from guys. Guys tend to like me. No, but and I will be doing the show with Rob Red Evening on Friday evening around midnight, which is
No, you said Sunday.
Yeah. This week it's going to be on Sunday, but after that it's just going to be on Saturday. So look for that on Saturday night, which will be midnight, which is actually Sunday morning. I didn't pick me down on that, which one I use, which will be my Sunday morning, 6 a.m. That's going to be lovely.
Cool.
Other things in the work, I will be continuing Red Pill Reads, but I'm thinking about making that an entire Patreon exclusive because it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of time, and time isn't free, gentlemen. I'm sorry about that, but yeah, sometimes you just have to make the decision to put that behind a paywall. Not everything. I will still have the snippets on my channel, but you can get access to the full versions on that on Patreon for only 33 cents a day. So that's patreon.com/Jack Napier 368. Please spare some change. Otherwise, just keep going what I'm doing.
Excellent.
Hold on. My battery is about to die.
Did you say Jack Napier 368?
Yeah. 368.
All right.
Throw that in the show notes too later.
Yeah, I just threw it in the chat. Didn't show up as
Cool.
a link, probably because I didn't put the HTTP in front of it. But
Oh yeah. Well, you just copy and paste.
yeah, these guys are smart.
People, if you're not, then you don't belong on this channel.
Exactly.
People are bright.
Not to put too fine a point on it.
That's
No.
not it. I put a link in the link for my channel is in the chat.
Yeah, I just threw it again.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And that's about it. Thank you so much for having me on. This has been a blast.
Glad to have you on, Jack.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to round 2.
Oh, sure. I'm up for it.
Excellent.
Cool.
Excellent. Rob, you want to go ahead and give your brief?
Yeah, why not? Okay, you guys probably already know, but if you don't know, find me at robsays.net. That's my blog. You can find all of my links to my YouTube channel. I've got, actually, now that you mention it, I've got Jack with me, where I'm with him doing the Red Evenings. I've also got a special one coming up just after Rule 0 this Saturday. It's going to be me and Carl from Black Label Logic coming on. And we're going to talk about dating apps, and we're going to be drinking and ranting and talking about all sorts of nonsense. It'll be a good time. You guys need to check that out. But you can find me on YouTube. I'll throw it in the chat here, but I'll say it as well. It's youtube.com Rob Says. And that would be me. You can find me there. Hit subscribe if you want to check it out. I've got a bunch of shit up. You'll enjoy it. And that's about it. Otherwise, all my links, all that shit, just go to robsays.net. You'll find me there.
Excellent. TJ, you're next.
You can go to tjmartinell.com. That'll have links to my podcast and my books, which you should all buy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Excellent. And we have the Men Who Walk Alone. We have a surprise for people soon.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll be going over that in detail. Yeah, see, in detail at the end of September, early October, and turning that into something else. We'll discuss that a little more later. Yeah, I know. Yes, it's a fantastic secret. So, masculinegeek.com. I'm doing most of my writing there. My other writing projects are slowly progressing. Newsletter. Get on the newsletter. That's one of the main things we want to get people involved in. Every Monday, we don't spam you. It's interesting, fun, informative, just goofy shit that you can enjoy. Kick off your week right with us, Masculine Geek Monday morning newsletter. Go to SoundCloud, type in Masculine Geek. You can find us there. And that's it. So, folks, everyone in the chat, it's been a great time hanging with Jack Napier.
Yes.
And as we say, we look forward to round 2 and looking forward to his projects brought to life as well. So, everyone, until next time, have a good night.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Peace, guys. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.